Fresh cases of COVID-19 are reported from various districts of Nagaland. Dimapur's tally nears the 200 mark with 12 fresh cases reported from the district. India sees record single-day spike of 24,850 cases. COVID-19 caseload zoomed to 6.73 lakh and is set to overtake Russia's tally. And global COVID-19 cases increased to more than 11.2 million, while the deaths have soared to over 5.28 lakhs. Well, those were the headlines. Hello and welcome to this news broadcast from News and Trends. We begin this bulletin by taking a look at the COVID-19 update from the state. 15 fresh cases of the coronavirus were added to the state's overnight total of 563 cases today, with cases reported from Dimapur, Zinaboto, Mokokchung and Kohima. State's Health and Family Welfare Minister Espangi informed in a tweet this morning that the new positive cases were from the 154 samples tested, with 15 samples confirmed positive of the virus. 12 in Dimapur, 1 each in Zinaboto, Mokokchung and Kohima respectively. With this, Dimapur still accounts for the highest number of positive cases reported from the district, with 198, just too short of the 200 mark. Kohima now has 124 cases. Zinaboto tally has risen to 4 and Mokokchung has 2 cases reported of the pathogen. Mons tally of COVID-19 cases reached 42, with 1 new case confirmed from the district. State's Health and Family Welfare Minister tweeted last night to inform that out of the 15 samples tested, 1 new case of COVID-19 positive has been confirmed from that district. According to the Health and Family Welfare Department's COVID-19 Bulletin, as of 3 p.m. today, the total number of positive cases stood at 590, active cases at 359, with 231 persons registered as recovered. Now moving on, head of the Empowered Group for COVID-19 Dimapur District, Y. Kikheto Sema, has been relieved of his charge as per a government memo issued by the Chief Secretary dated yesterday. Sema, who is the State Agriculture Production Commissioner, was directed to resume normal duties in Kohima. All other officers attached to assist the Agriculture Production Commissioner in Dimapur are also directed to report to the place of normal posting, it said. It further directed the Deputy Commissioner Dimapur to ensure that the responsibilities looked after by Kikheto and his team are smoothly taken over. Meanwhile, Nagaland Chief Minister Nipirio has congratulated Kikheto Sema for executing given responsibilities in a commendable manner. The state government places on record its appreciation to you and members of your committee for taking up the tasks with sincere commitment and utmost dedication. All of you have performed in an exemplary manner and you have proved capable leadership, read a letter dated June 24 addressed to him by the Chief Minister. Kikheto Sema was appointed as head of the Special Committee on April 2, 2020 to assist and advise the Dimapur District Administration for COVID-19 related activities. He was later appointed as the Dimapur in charge for all COVID-19 activities on May 10, 2020. Meanwhile, addressing media persons in Dimapur today, Kikheto Sema thanked God for the successful completion of 3 months of mandated duties in Dimapur. He thanked Chief Minister Nipirio and Chief Secretary Temjintoy for reposing their fate on him and his team and provisioning all required resources as they embarked on the mission to fight the pandemic and facilitate the returnees.
For about, I believe maybe about 1.5 months, we had a hard time actually. It was a challenge and everything. The average rest, sleep was somewhere around 4 to 5 hours in a day.
He also appreciated and expressed heartfelt gratitude to Team Dimapur, District Administration, Police, Medical Fraternity, various committees, churches, civil societies, NGOs, media fraternity, prayer warriors and all those individuals involved in managing the pandemic for their generosity and rendering their dedicated services and selfless sacrifice. Even as he was relieved of charge in Dimapur, the senior bureaucrat said that the fight against COVID-19 was not yet over and re-emphasized on the need for a disciplined citizenry in this collective fight against the virus. Kikheto also said successful fighting against this pandemic cannot be achieved through panic or stigma, but careful yet tactful handling of the situation with concerted efforts.
Wishing them that they will continue to, to carry the burden. And as already stated, since more than 95% of the total returnees has already come back, I think there should not be much problem in handling this situation.
Kikheto said that with limited time and infrastructure, his team did its best to address the comfort of inmates at the quarantine centers. He appealed the returnees to follow hygiene protocols and sincerely follow instructions issued by the government.
I think we spend nearly more than 1,000 crores. Our people will have to do livestock, right? That kind of thing will have to be started, right? Agriculture, horticulture. A time will come where we have to buy our own product, right? So these are the areas we have to focus.
Kikheto also informed that as of today, a total of 17,157 returnees had arrived to the state from different parts of the country and few from abroad, excluding paramilitary and army. Out of this, 6,800 of them arrived by special trains, 4,312 by normal trains, 2,723 by flights, 2,212 by buses, 612 by other vehicles and 498 from Kohima side. He said a maximum of 500 returnees were expected to arrive Dimapur by special train from Bengaluru. The train is expected to reach Dimapur on July 9th. He also informed that till late night of July 4th, there were 1,202 inmates in 50 quarantine centers in Dimapur, including 25 institutional quarantine centers and 25 paid quarantine centers. 601 inmates each were housed in the two categories of quarantine centers. It was also informed that the Ganesh Nagar quarantine center was closed today since all the inmates have been released and accommodated in hotels in Dimapur.
We have learned a lot from you. So we really want to say thank you again and again, because working with you has always boosted my spirit, especially. And I feel that the government has really chosen the right person to be in the right place for to tackle the situation, and you have really done justice, discharging your assignments which was given to you by the state government.
With a record single-day spike of 24,850 coronavirus infections and 613 fatalities, India's COVID-19 caseload zoomed to 6,73,165, while the death toll climbed to 19,268 today, according to the Union Health Ministry data. Recording over 20,000 coronavirus infections for the third consecutive day, India is set to overtake Russia's tally. With a steady rise, the number of recoveries stand at 4,09,082, while one patient has migrated. There are 2,44,814 active cases of coronavirus infections presently in the country, the data showed. Thus, around 60.77% of patients have recovered so far, an official said. Maharashtra has reported the highest number of cases, followed by Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana and Karnataka, according to the ministry data. In the northeast, Assam's tally crossed the 10,000 mark with 10,668 reported cases of the pathogen. A total of 1,546 cases have been reported from Tripura. Manipur has 1,325 COVID-19 cases. Mizoram has 164, Arunachal Pradesh has 259, Meghalaya 62 and Sikkim has reported 103 cases till now. The overall number of global coronavirus cases has increased to more than 11.2 million, while the deaths have soared to over 5,28,000 according to the Johns Hopkins University. As of this morning, the total number of cases stood at 1,12,65,793, while the fatalities rose to 5,30,750. The university's Center for Systems Science and Engineering revealed in its latest update. The US accounted for the highest number of infections and fatalities with 28,39,436 and 1,29,676 respectively, according to the CSSE. Brazil came in the second place with 15,74,004 infections and 64,265 deaths. In terms of cases, Russia ranks third and is followed by India, Peru, Chile, the UK, Mexico, Spain and Italy, making up the top 10 worst hit countries. Principal Director Health and Family Welfare Dr. Visualizat Sokre said that the department is closely monitoring the recent increase in positive cases of coronavirus in all the districts. Addressing a press conference at Health and Family Welfare Directorate, Kohima today, Dr. Sokre said that one of the main reasons why there has been an increase in number of positive cases in the quarantine centers is because there is minimal discipline among the returnees. The government alone cannot contain the virus and it requires individuals' responsibility and participation, he said. He also urged the civil societies to come together with the government to avoid the further spread of the virus. Sokre mentioned that there is so much to learn about this enigmatic disease, and at the most what the public can do is to practice social distancing and maintain good hygiene to stay safe. He also stated that the state has no shortage in essential equipment. He urged the public to refrain from rumors that are being spread through social media and said that your safety is your responsibility.
People who are quarantined inside the quarantine centers, that needs to be strengthened. It appears that infection among the people in the quarantine centers is, if discipline is not maintained, then the spike will be seen it. And those are the cases where we are closely in touch with the districts, how we can actually implement discipline in the quarantine centers.
Deputy Commissioner of Parents Sandy Wapang Iyer yesterday issued an order for further extension of total lockdown for a period of 6 days with effect from 6th to 11th July 2020 in view of the ongoing contact tracing exercise. However, in addition to the permitted activities, veterinary services and fuel outlets shall be allowed to operate, and all safety measures such as compulsory use of face mask, hand hygiene protocol and maintenance of social distancing shall be strictly adhered to while providing services. Meanwhile, Deputy Commissioner declared Maikham village under Parent district as containment zone with immediate effect in view of the detection of positive cases of COVID-19 from among those sent for home quarantine. The DC also ordered the concerned Administrative Officer Subdivisional Task Force for COVID-19 to ensure the containment of the affected areas and demarcate by barricading the containment zone in order to prevent community spread of the virus. Further, DC advised the medical department to immediately commence contact tracing and other medical protocols. With a view to contain the spread of COVID-19 and in connection with the detection of positive cases of COVID-19 among those sent for quarantine at Mpai New Village Community Quarantine Center and Kezanglo Village Community Quarantine Center, ADC Peren Moa Sanctum on 3rd July declared the aforementioned locations under Peren Sadar area as containment zones. The ADC also directed the concerned village councils to immediately ensure the public to be aware of the containment zone and to strictly adhere to all the required protocols as per the SOP issued by the government. Now, online classes have emerged as the go-to solution for schools looking to resume classes despite lockdown, yet has drawbacks on it. Online lessons are helping educational institutions beat the COVID-19 lockdown to push ahead with the academic calendar as an alternative for imparting education. But the trend has negatively impacted on students especially living in remote areas who don't have access to the technology digital lessons required. While many have access to the technology are being advantaged, there are lots of students living in rural areas who are finding lots of problems to cope with the online educational trend and has drastically hindered their academic. Having learned of the existing problems, few students of Lizitomi village and the Agnato subdivision were interviewed on how they are doing with the current trend and its impact on them. Nivika H. Aomi, class 6 student of Sunbeam School, Zinaboto, who is a son of a cultivator depending all of its livelihood on cultivation, was left helpless when online classes emerged as the alternative of imparting education, as he didn't have enough money to purchase a smartphone for his son to catch up with the studies. Nivika shared that online classes have helped lots of students, but for students like him who have no access to technology, online classes is a major backdrop. Boheto S. Yepto, class 6 student of St. Anthony School, Zinaboto, shared that he had been struggling a lot trying to cope up with his online studies, as he has been living in a remote place and has an irregular and unstable electricity with no power backups. He further shared that there comes a time when he needed some guidance in his studies, but his parents, who are ignorant, fails to help him and said that he is in a helpless state. On being asked of what can be done to mitigate the current existing problems, Kiboto Sumi, President Lizitomi Students Union, suggested that the students living in rural areas can cope up with distant learning through sources like classes from radio channel, which most of the villager has. He further added that it will be helpful if the students are provided with monthly self-study materials.
Smartphone news laman isa ajak sa shanya no
That's all we have time for in this edition of News Broadcast, but before we leave you, here's another reminder that you can send in your videos at the WhatsApp number given below and be part of this venture of being a citizen journalist. Do let us know what's happening in your village, your district, your town or your locality so that we can share your videos to the rest of the viewers watching this broadcast. Meanwhile, stay safe, practice safe health hygiene and maintain social distancing wherever you are. But most importantly, take good care of yourself. Thanks for watching.